Looks like they want us to talk amongst ourselves, Paul.
Yeah, I think so.
What do you think of the game?
I love it. I love it. It's
You love it?
Yeah. I
Okay.
can't play it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hello and welcome. It's another mini gaming episode, a colorful one today.
Oh my God. Is it an OM Game Boy Color?
You got it. OM Game Boy Color episode.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm your host, Nick Tendo, as always. And with me?
I'm your co-host, Dan Tendo OM Game Boy Color.
Oh, I could have said Nick Technicolor. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Or Dan McCartney or Dan
No.
Lennon
Okay. I
or
see what you
Dan
did there.
Starr or Dan Harrison. I'm basically one of the Beatles.
That's literally people say you're the Beatles of the group. Well, welcome today. We're going over one of our mini What the Famicom episodes, OM Game Boy, and we're here today to talk to you about Nintendo 64 games with 64 in the title.
Yeah. So this
Did I
was
say it weird?
semi-inspired by the Beatles song. It's very funny because it's semi-inspired by Beatles song I've never heard in my entire life. So the Beatles song is called When I'm 64, and the
Okay.
word 64 is spelled out. And I'm like, well, let's just talk about games that have the number 64 in them, like the way Super Mario 64, like that's part of the name.
Yeah,
Let's
Bomberman
go over
64.
a list of
We get it.
N64 titles that have that. But let's call the episode When I'm N64.
That's pretty good.
And I
yeah.
sent everyone. I sent him a Photoshop picture of the Beatles with N64 controllers as heads.
Mhm.
What did he say back? He didn't say anything back.
I didn't say anything back. You got me. All right.
We're right back in the way we used to go, where I sent him like something I'm really proud of, and it's like I worked on it for years.
Crickets.
And crickets.
Michelangelo, he's like, hold on, I've been working on this chapel ceiling. And his friend's like, hold on.
Hold on, dude. That kind of
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah, it's good. Sure. All right. So with this one, I would like to mention that I've never heard the song, and I think you should try and sing the song the way the Beatles would have.
But as which Beatle?
George? Is that George?
I think that's more Lennon. John
That
Lennon.
could be, dude.
When I'm 64, I don't want to live anymore.
That's pretty good. That's all right. Please
I-
stop. Hold on.
I hope one day I can play with a gray cartridge in the 90s.
Is that what they were thinking back then?
I hope so. All right, how about this?
Okay.
Right before we get into the list, say you're on a cliff,
Okay.
and hanging off a cliff is Paul McCartney.
Yep.
Pre-Beatles, right?
Pre-Beatles?
Pre-Beatles, like 1959, really. And then the other hand is an N64 cartridge.
Who am I saving?
Who are you saving?
N64 cartridge.
Well, what game? GoldenEye.
Oh, okay. GoldenEye's a good one.
So if you're holding off a cliff, Paul McCartney pre-Beatles. So if you drop him, the Beatles never happened.
Oh, I see the dilemma here.
Okay. So I don't need to explain why pre-Beatles Paul McCartney is hanging off a cliff.
Well, how am I going to play the game?
I don't know. You're stuck in 1959.
It's just a cartridge?
So if Paul McCartney dies, you're stuck in 1959.
Okay. And if he lives, I'm still stuck in 1959?
Yeah, I don't know how you got. I don't know how you got there.
It's just a nightmare scenario.
I'm sorry.
All right. Well, either way, I think that can bring us to our episode. So
I just always found it very fascinating that some games had the number 64 in them, just to say what system. Like no other system did that.
yeah, I agree.
Like I just found that an oddity, and only like a percentage of N64 games do that. They only say like Mario 64, and then I don't know, like a game like GoldenEye doesn't have 64 in the title, but people call it GoldenEye 64. Do you realize that?
I never hear anyone say GoldenEye 64.
You're
I've
lying.
never heard that.
I know you're lying.
I've
You're not
never heard
online. You're not
anyone
online
say
as much as
that.
I am.
Okay. Well, it can still preclude that I didn't hear anyone ever say that.
What you don't hear can fill the Grand Canyon, and I know I've said that before.
That's the worst thing you've ever said. All right. So let's take it down. We have a list here. It's every Nintendo 64 game, and we're kind of go down the list and give whichever one has 64 in it and make fun of it. Is that the idea for this episode?
I think that's pretty much
Correct.
what I said in a text.
It is what you said in the text.
So we're
Yes.
making fun of people's hard work from the 90s.
It's not hard-earned work. And this reminds me of the lazy thing. If people invented stuff in like the 70s or the 80s, they were like, it's the Toastmaster 4000. Like you just put a number at the end.
Yeah.
Lately, like 2000 was a popular number in the 80s and 90s.
I
because we
mean,
were
that's the
getting
thing.
closer
Some
to
of
the year
these
2000.
have years at the end too.
They do, but I think those are like video game like sports. which
Yeah.
have to.
All right. So the
Let's-
first one that I'll
Okay.
come across. Some of them are Japanese. First one I
And
see is
you say you don't respect those people, so keep going. Skip them. You're
I
doing
thought
it
we were
for your.
gonna. Did we edit that part out? I think so. Air Border 64.
Okay. That
I've
sounds
never.
dumb.
Is that let's click on it. Air Border. Oh, it's a so. Oh, look at this. In the USA, it was called Airboarding USA.
This is.
That's a
Hold
fake
on.
64 game right
Did you
there.
see the one above it that you skipped?
Aiden Chronicles,
No, two more up or so. Three more
Aero
up.
Gauge,
Keep going. One more or three more.
64. Oh, okay, read it. Read it.
64 Trump collection. Alice No Waku Waku Trump World.
Unfortunately, there's
Bottom
no
up,
hyperlink, so
bottom
we can't.
up.
We don't know what it is.
It's unreleased. Unreleased. It has unreleased written everywhere, and I have no clue what that could be.
I mean, it was in the 90s, and Trump people didn't have a strong opinion on him, so it could have been about him.
Maybe it was him, his life before he sees Kevin McAllister in the hotel.
So let me get. So they made an N64 prequel game to a sequel movie that he shows up in for a millisecond where he plays himself.
Yeah, so I think it takes place during Home Alone 1.
Okay. So it's what Donald Trump was doing during Home Alone 1 is this N64 game that was unreleased.
Yeah, it didn't get
Even
enough
though it
funding.
apparently has a Japanese title.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, isn't that crazy?
It's a crazy that's a stretch for a video game. But sure.
Yeah.
You're right. There's already a lot of sports games. Here we go. Asteroids Hyper 64.
Didn't need it. Stupid.
That's what I'm saying. Like you
Called
don't need a
Asteroids.
it's on the N64, and I doubt there's any other game named Asteroids Hyper. So why? What else we got here?
Armageddon 64.
There was a Carmageddon 64.
Yeah, I guess so.
Was Carmageddon on anything else?
It sounds familiar. Let's keep going until we find one that we know for a fact. So we don't have to research it.
Bomberman 64.
64. Right. I actually recall that one well.
But there's
That
like I don't know,
Makes
like
sense though, doesn't it? Because it's the first 3D Bomberman. I don't know why you had to call it 64 though.
yeah.
'Cause it's on
Okay, for
64.
example, I don't know if you've ever heard someone talk about the Castlevania game that came out for the N64. Whenever I see it written, and this is not a lie, I see it written as Castlevania 64. That's not the title. It's just called Castlevania. People that are
I'm looking at it
people
right
that
here,
write about the
Castlevania.
N64 are frauds. They don't know how to say the titles of names.
Wow.
I bet you if Paul. Okay, now it's your turn to do an impersonation. If you were one of the Beatles, what would you
Mhm.
say about N64 games?
I'm Ringo, the one that talks like this. Is that what he talks like?
Have you never heard a Beatle talk?
I never really just about.
Okay, at least you're honest.
I'll be honest with you. I'm not a big Beatles guy.
Yeah, like some of these, like I respect the generic title. Like one's just called Chopper Attack. Let's just click on that. I don't know why I want to click on it. But
Go ahead, check it.
Chopper Attack. In Japan, known in Japan as Wild Choppers.
Oh, see, maybe other countries were just calling it regular game, and over here we
And
call
the
that
US was like,
64.
everyone's stupid here. We got add into 64.
Like Dr. Mario 64. It's
So
extra.
Clay
We don't
Fighter,
need
do
it.
you remember the Clay Fighter series? They did
Yeah,
a
yeah,
clever
yeah.
thing. They called their N64 game 63 and a third.
Oh, this came up in a previous episode, and I didn't know why. That's why
Did
it
we
was
talk
called
about
60.
Clay Fighter in a previous episode?
I mentioned it as one of the associated games with Booger Fighter or Booger Man.
Booger Fighter.
Yep, that's
Yeah,
what I said.
that was you and your
Yeah, it
grandma
was. Yep.
while she was in a coma. So it was just
Yeah,
one-sided.
and I pulled the plug. I forgot about that.
Got it.
Only to plug in my amp, not like
Yeah. Everyone's about to like cancel Nick. Like he only unplugged her while she was in her coma to plug in his bass.
Duke Nukem 64. Why do we have to write 64? It's extra.
So here's the
You don't
thing.
need it.
So
Oh.
people probably think Duke Nukem 64 and Doom 64 are just the same game with 64. They're actually totally different games.
Yeah. Why
Like I
call
think
it-
they re-edited all the bad stuff out of Duke Nukem, and Doom 64 is just basically like Doom 4. Like it's a whole different game. It's not the computer game.
That's kind of wild, actually.
So that makes a little more sense to call it 64 because it's a totally different thing.
I guess, but then why not just call Doom 4?
You ready? This is Paul McCartney responding to that. I don't know. How about that?
That's yeah. I feel like you do Beatles impressions a lot more than you'll ever admit to.
You think I do it in the mirror before we record, just in case it comes up?
You could, dude. Just when you're bored, hanging around at home, editing episodes.
I really enjoy doing it. I think I've done it like twice in the last few months. I really enjoy doing Tony Clifton. Do you know who Tony Clifton is?
Mm-mm.
You ever see Man on the Moon, the Jim Carrey
Yeah.
movie?
Yeah.
You remember when he does the persona where he's like the guy with the mustache and he's like heavy?
Yeah.
He's like, "All right, I'm Tony Clifton." Right.
Is that based on someone? I don't know who
I
Tony Clifton
don't
is though.
know.
Oh, okay.
I think he just made him up, but I think I've done the impersonation like twice in the last couple months for no
Why?
reason whatsoever.
Okay. Just to no one in
Yeah.
your house.
I no, I
Okay.
did. I think I did it to my cousin. I think I did it to my friend in the car.
Okay. Well, at least you're doing it to someone.
So if anyone wants a podcast hosted by Tony Clifton, but Jim Carrey as Tony Clifton, I'm your man.
Yes, that's your guy.
Donkey Kong 64. So fun fact, I actually, before we started recording, I had a Donkey Kong shirt on and it was yellow. And I'm like, oh, I'll wear it. But it started blending in with my background. So
That sounds terrible, and I know you hate to edit something where it blends in with your
and
background.
now I'm wearing a tight shirt with bananas to relate to
Yeah.
Donkey Kong.
It's weird because I'm thinking this is all extemporaneous. Mega Man 64, Mario Kart 64. There was no need for the 64.
No,
I'm
like I'm
wearing-
already buying it on the fucking system.
Yeah, I'm saying it's extemporaneous. It's too many.
Stop.
different
Can you
colors.
just stop using words like that?
It's not a big word. It means too much. Look what I'm wearing. Too much. Look at me.
He's actually wearing a lot. He's
colors.
wearing a very busy tie and a very busy shirt.
Yeah, because it's too much. There's no need for the stupid 64 at the end. It's like decorating a thing that's already decorated and then putting a ribbon on it and calling it decorated again.
It's like giving a pile of shit a ribbon, but the ribbon's made out of puke.
I don't think that's it.
You don't think that's the same thing? That's like adding 64 to a game?
Mhm.
Hey, we're different. I guess we're different.
We're both different.
Here's it. Gensai Game. So this one's called Gensai Game 64. It's a virtual board game. And it's based on Gensai Game. What the hell is Gensai Game?
I don't know.
I don't know why I clicked on it. I'm
It's your
really sorry,
favorite game,
everybody.
dude. No, Monster Truck Madness 64. That one actually sounds cool.
Oh, you're on the M's now. Okay.
Yeah, I'm skipping ahead because I want to bring
Okay,
more
here we go.
important things to the people
So what's the
listening.
difference between these two? They
Oh, go ahead.
they named Mario Kart Mario Kart 64, but they named Mario Golf just Mario Golf.
So maybe this is a real big question that we should have researched before the episode.
Yeah.
When they made the 64 games, were they not able to be made for any other system? Like if you had Mario 64, it's only for the 64. If you had Mortal Kombat 64, well, they don't have one of them.
Well,
Monster Truck
ready?
Madness
I'll be
64.
John Lennon responding to that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. So it's like a 64 exclusive tag.
That might make a little more sense.
That would make some sense because it's only available on
But
the
again,
64.
like, I don't know, were parents that stupid where like even though they were buying the case specifically because they knew they had to buy their kid an N64 game, do you think they were holding up a Super Nintendo Mario Kart and an N64 Mario Kart? They'd be like, which one?
It's possible, yeah. Your mom do that all the time.
Go ahead. Tell everyone what you said my mom used to do. She used to go
used
to a
hold
mall.
up food, and it would be like this: "Which one is food, Daniel?" And she'd yell it to you guys, and from like inside the store, you guys were outside in the mall concourse. She was in the store, and she would go up to the glass for the store, bang on it, and say, "Which one is food?" And it would say "food" on one and "dirt" on the other. And sometimes your mom would get the wrong one, and you guys would have to eat mud.
So she didn't know what she was buying.
She wasn't sure.
So I thought she was tricking us.
No.
I thought it was like, Dan, do you know the difference between dirt and food?
No, she wanted to know because she was going to bring you guys home dinner.
So
And
why
none of
couldn't we
you-
go in the store?
You weren't. You guys were too gross.
Okay.
You had
We
stink lines.
were too dirty and we were
Yeah, you know, like
Okay.
Pigpen. Yeah.
I think you made a joke about my mom going to like a childhood mall we had and constantly buying me the same game. Because I said I bought a Sega Genesis game numerous times over the years. Ironically,
this
it's never
joke.
been on the N64, but I bought it like 4 or 5 times. It came out for the Switch and stuff. But you said you can imagine my mom
Here it is. I
spending
can
all of her
imagine-
money.
Yep. So this is the way I picture it. He just told me like a week ago that he bought a game that came out for Sega Genesis. It's okay. You told me about something you bought. It's like 25 years old. Good on you, dude. You probably spent 30, 50 bucks on it. I don't remember what you spent on it. You waited and you bought it and great. I'm just picturing your mom probably like got done work. She probably went to the place at Funko Land or whatever it was.
Funko,
Like one of those. Yeah, probably not even like the big hitter. Like she wasn't going to EB or what was the other one we used to go to? Monkey.
I think that was GameStop. So I think that was
GameStop,
eBay. So
yeah.
Funko Land is a very good throwback.
Right. So she probably went there because it was closer. She just finished work. She just cooked dinner for all the kids and everything else. She's dealing with your dad. He's a pain in the ass. Like she's doing all this stuff and she's in line and she's like, oh, I want to buy Daniel this game. Little does she know she's going to spend her hard-earned money so that you can buy it again 25 years later, like as a throwaway. And she's probably like,
What did we just say? What did we
in the
just say about my
past.
mom that you jokingly said you screenshotted?
What? I don't remember.
I said I said something about my age, and I said by 39, my
Yeah.
mom had 4 kids that were grown up.
Yeah.
And then
yeah,
I
yeah.
said, right now I have 4 video game consoles plugged in.
yeah, yeah. There's a big difference.
There's a big difference. I don't know who's winning in that situation, but
I don't know.
sometimes
Shout
I
out.
unplug them. So can you imagine if she unplugged one of us?
Yeah, well, for
She
that,
just
like,
decided, like my middle brother, she's like, I don't want them anymore.
he's taking up too much time.
Joanne, oh my God, I just doxed her.
He just
But it's
your
basically my
mom.
dad said, like, he's 14 years old. You can't do that. And she's like, I don't give a shit. I'm a teacher.
You doxed her job? Good
Oh my
lord.
God. I said her full name and doxed her job. People are gonna find her.
Yeah, she's bad.
That's how this works. When you
We're gonna
dox
hunt her down.
holy shit. Tomorrow
Damn.
I'm gonna get a phone call, even though
Yeah.
somehow she heard this already.
Yeah, she's gonna be in some mall, dude, holding up a bag that says food and a bag that says
Oh
dirt.
my God. In a
Trying to
few
figure out what
months,
to
I'm
eat.
going to be walking around South Philly where I live, and I'm going to see a homeless person holding 2 bags. I'm like, oh, what's this person?
What's this
Who is
person?
And it's my mom with like a long beard and like dirty
Yep.
nails and stuff.
Yeah, it's
I'm
come
sorry,
full
Mom.
circle.
I didn't mean to dox you.
I apologize.
That's what happens when you dox people. They become homeless.
Sorry to hear.
Anyway, I got another one. Morita Shogi 64.
You're just naming games that don't sound like things I've ever heard of. Quake 64. You heard of mine?
What was it?
Quake 64.
Now is that the case of like Doom? Is that a different Quake? Like, is that
I don't know, 'cause
canonically?
it's right next to Quake 2 came out.
Mhm. So there was a Quake 2 on the N64.
I mean, do you want me to just read this? Here, the first port to be completed was a Linux port, Quake .9. Yo, everyone just fell asleep. All right, everyone.
That's how I sleep. I'm sorry.
That was a weird noise.
I know, right?
Can't tell. I'm not going to read all this. Too many words. I'm out.
Anyway, I was going to say they should stop putting the N64 after names, but they already did.
StarCraft 64, StarFox 64.
Here's a fun fact. I remember there was a Rampage game, and I swear to God it was called Rampage 64 because
Not
it was
real.
like a 3D Rampage.
Yeah.
And I forgot that I just found out in one of the Rampages, it's either one of these for the N64, one of the levels is New York, and you climb the 2 towers. And you destroy it.
Shut up. No, you don't.
Yeah, you go to like LA, like all the famous places, and I
Yep,
think
yep.
one of them's like World Trade Center in New York.
I
I'm not. Why would I look at me in the face right now with this banana shirt?
Yeah.
Would I make that up?
No, you're right. Never mind. I take it back.
So I'm saying, like, you can virtually destroy the Twin Towers in a Rampage game. I don't think so.
I know who's going to send it to me on Instagram.
Who's it going to send it to me?
No.
Oh. Anyway, you should not play that Rampage game.
Tetris 64?
Tetris 64?
Just call it
Yeah, but that's the
Tetris.
thing. Just call it Tetris. Yes.
Yeah, I agree. It's
Road Rash 64.
extemporaneous.
Just call it Road
Too
Rash.
much. Yeah.
San Francisco Rush. Does that say 64?
Can you read?
I don't know. StarFox 64. Listen, I know there was a StarFox to the Super Nintendo, but you don't have to, like, unlike Paul McCartney,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to put 64 in the title.
Mhm.
Because if Paul McCartney didn't do it, the song would just be called When I'm.
When I'm.
When I'm. You think Paul McCartney's going to be like, I'm going to sing my new favorite song, When I'm.
When I'm.
No, the Beatles would be nothing without me.
you really took a step there.
So here's the best thing about these games too. Because it was like the year 2000 and 1999,
Yeah.
when they were able to name something 2000, it just sounds cooler.
Oh, it does. 100%.
So
Even
like
though that's
baseball
extemporaneous
2000,
too.
yeah, even though it's the year. Tetris 64. This is such bullshit.
I agree, dude. It's extemporaneous. It's too many colors. Listen, all you need is like 3 colors. You don't need 64 friggin' colors. You don't need rainbow this
Is
and
that wait, 64? So 64-bit, that's the amount of colors that you can do, right?
No, it's the amount of like polygon
So wait,
edges to a polygon. I don't know, dude.
what are you wrong or am I wrong? This whole time I thought 64 meant 64-bit and it's the memory.
Yeah, it might have to do with the memory. It has nothing to do with the color.
Oh, okay. I thought I was going to send gamers after you.
No, and I feel like I should know because I'm the one who knows all the technical stuff on this stuff. And I
You
can't.
do the most work for this podcast. Is that true?
Yeah, probably.
So anyway, the Beatles song, When I'm 64. Never heard it. I'm going to steal it for this artwork. Video games with the number 64 at the end. I hate them. I hate playing them. People call games that don't have 64 at the end of the title. They add it, and that makes you a fake gamer. That's pretty much it.
Is it 64 at the end of things? Too many. You're wearing too many colors.
How about
Just
this?
call it
What's
what it
yeah?
is.
If you're wearing too many 64-bit colors, go nuts. If you want to reach out, tell us your favorite N64 game with the number 64 in it.
Or 69.
You know what? How about Mario Kart 69? Or Paul McCartney. Paul
That's actually
McCartney
really
write a
funny.
song when I'm 69.
Yeah, when I'm 69.
When I'm
making
69 and John Lennon.
mom.
Do you remember that story that came out a couple years ago where it came out that they all like jerked off each other?
I feel like that was like what they did at like one of their retreats or something. Are you sure? I don't know.
Yeah. And someone asked Paul McCartney, he's like, "Of course we did,"
Oh,
or something
okay.
like that. Look it up.
I'm not
Anyway.
looking up Beatles jerk off.
Anyway, thanks for tuning into our first mini coming back. We hope to have many, many more.
Many more.
And maybe we'll release this when we're 64
Maybe.
or 69.
All right, folks.
All right, folks. See you later.
Game over.